I would say, first of all, thank you, Meena, for that question. I would say that IoT requirements from different customers across different verticals are actually shaping the overall requirements, the industry trends from that perspective. So if you look at various verticals who are actually contributing to different IoT strategies, whether it is automotive, manufacturing, aviation, and even the smart city and smart metering industry, they are actually contributing to the overall trend. So if you look at it, whether it is IoT security or the data resiliency or the performance that needs to be driven or delivered to an enterprise customer, these are some of the aspects on the IoT strategy which are actually defining the overall service for IoT service providers. So when it comes to the overall platform capability which is being then delivered to various different enterprises, it then dovetails into what sort of platform capabilities are required to deliver different types of IoT use cases, whether it is smart manufacturing or smart agricultural use cases or even smart mobility. And then those use cases then define what sort of platform capabilities are to be then delivered by IoT service providers. So at Tata Communications MOVE, we have looked at it from a perspective of horizontal platform as well as vertical use cases. So the horizontal platform is something where we have deployed the entire mobile core combination of packet gateways and HLR, HSS, online charging, all of those capabilities onto the Tata Communications MOVE side, including the eSIM capabilities, which are extremely important from an IoT strategy standpoint. And that is then delivering those vertical use cases, whether these are aviation, mobility, manufacturing, logistics, so on and so forth. And even on the consumer world, which is consumer IoT side, now with the advent of SGP32, these are some of the newer use cases that are now coming to foray to define those strategies for different enterprises. I would say 5G has been a promise for the industry for too long, and I think now is the time when we see some of the advancements in the 5G, specifically from a roaming perspective. 5G NSA roaming has been there in the industry for a couple of years now, but with 5G SA comes the possibility of massive IoT deployments, ultra low latency implementations across the board, which have not been possible all this while. And at the same time, these are some of these nuances which 5G SA roaming will further enhance use cases across AI, machine learning, edge computing perspective. This is an immense possibility and opportunity for various industries such as automotive, as well as cross-border use cases, where if you are able to deploy certain use cases in your home country with the advent of 5G SA being available in that country, and all of a sudden if that vehicle moves out of the country, I mean if you look at various use cases within Europe, and then to be able to deliver similar kind of use cases and experience and predictability and performance to the vehicle and to the end user is something that we see is going to be driving that scenario in the upcoming future. Well, LPWAN as a technology and various different technologies within the LPWAN space have been prevalent for that matter. In fact, Tata Communications runs one of the world's largest LoRaWAN solutions out of India. What we have seen is the constant war between MNOs and LPWAN service providers. Now, the ability to offer NB-IoT and various different technologies which are now contributing to the LPWAN space, and now with 5G getting added to that particular space, we believe that the pricing should standardize to a very large extent, because LPWAN typically is solving the problem for low bandwidth use cases. Now with low bandwidth use cases, what we have seen is that the pricing strategy, which typically caters to massive IoT deployments, whether it is smart metering or street lighting or various different deployments in the LPWAN space, is something has to standardize for this particular industry to kind of take off. However, at the same time, I believe that 5G access strategies, and especially with 5G SA being introduced, LPWAN will dovetail into that ecosystem to be able to thrive in the near future. At Tata Communications, we believe in a digital ecosystem enablement strategy which specifically focuses on 4 pillars. And what these 4 pillars are, we call it digital fabric, and 4 pillars of our digital fabric are first being network fabric, and that has been our core strength. It's something that we have deployed over the past many years. We run submarine cable capacity networks, in fact the largest in the world, IP backbone, MPLS backbones around the world. And that is something which is enabling us to deliver the right performance, right connectivity to Fortune 500 companies around the world, and specifically focusing on the enterprises domain. The second fabric is the cloud fabric, wherein the capability to provide compute to our enterprises leveraging our network fabric is something that we extend to our customers today. Third one being interaction fabric, where the ability to communicate from a B2B2C or B2B2X perspective is something which is enabled by this fabric, and our recent acquisitions in this particular space have further enhanced our ability to offer interaction capabilities to enterprise customers in the way they communicate with their end clients and end users. The last but not the least is the IoT fabric, and IoT fabric is something where Tata Communications MOVE is leading the pack in terms of the capabilities offered both in the consumer as well as IoT space. So whether it is connected car or a connected travel ecosystem, and that's where the horizontal platform capabilities come from Tata Communications, where all these vertical use cases being delivered through that. So in a nutshell, Tata Communications is offering global digital ecosystem enablement capabilities through these 4 fabrics combined and intertwined together to be able to offer these services. I would say Tata Communications brings platform-first approach at a global scale. And when we talk about platform-first approach, it is all about delivering the API capabilities for the IoT solutions that we are offering to our customers, whether they are in the automotive industry or they are in any other industry for that matter. So when it comes to the overall global capabilities that we are offering to our customers at scale, it is all about ability to take away the complexity of various different mobile networks all around the planet, and then to be able to deliver simplicity to our customers with respect to single API connection, irrespective of the fact that whether the vehicle is in Australia or in Latin America. And it doesn't matter where that vehicle is or where that device is getting manufactured or where it ends up for the rest of its life. The ability to onboard, ability to provide the connectivity solution, and ability to then service it throughout the rest of its tenure is something which we bring to the table. Specifically from an IoT standpoint, a lot of these things are also driven by regulations in different markets. So if you look at India or Brazil or now Indonesia, some of these markets are now pushing local profile just from a regulatory and a compliance standpoint. Now, to be able to deliver those promises in an IoT ecosystem, I mean, just imagine a smart meter being deployed or being manufactured in Eastern Europe and then being deployed somewhere in India for the rest of its life. To be able to provide a seamless connectivity throughout the life of that smart meter, or a vehicle which is getting manufactured somewhere in China and then getting delivered, say in Brazil, for the rest of its life. To be able to provide test-ready environment and then the overall ecosystem throughout the life cycle of that particular product and comply to the local regulations time and time again, whether one is leveraging global connectivity or a local profile. And that's the strength which Tata Communications MOVE brings to the table in order to enable IoT ecosystems across various different industries.